A kayak in the water in town comment, cleats lace for a practice at the North Recreation, somewhere to grab the dinner after that game.
Basically, that's already here for you in the Greenville, North Carolina area, waiting for you in that house that you're about to buy, and that's in reach. So if you're thinking about, you just got that job at Mayne Pharma, or any job really, and you need to know that you're now going to come to a place that actually has what you love to do. So getting into the right house is one part, but you have to know you've never lived in this town. You might have a new job offer, but is this town offering what you want? And that happens when you're buying a home too. So you really want to know, will your life be awesome when you move to the Greenville, North Carolina area?
Exactly. Therefore, if you're really in the process of accepting a job at Mayne Pharma, this video is for you, and we wanted to give you all the how your week is going to look like with the different things, activities, and then how this relocation is going to work for you, and we wanted to break it down for you that is digestible.
Now, every part in Greenville has different things going on. It's not a front porch and a quiet trail, though we do have those, and maybe it's a corridor where fields of water, maybe we do have those. But matching what your dream home is versus what you want, maybe you are more of a city girl and you're like, I need to be in a townhome, I'm not going to mow my lawn. What you actually want, where you spend your time matters, and that decisions matter for houses when we understand what your lifestyle really is like. So let's talk about, they just got a job, the conversation.
Our work really starts with one question and has nothing to do with your budget or your bedroom counts. How do you want to spend your week in Greenville, North Carolina when you accept a job in Mayne Pharma? And once the job, basically you got your job and here to settle and unpack your stuff.
Now, yes, of course, price and bedrooms matter, but also, how are you spending your evenings? You bike every evening. Do you go to the gym? Is it kayaking? Is it soccer practice? Is it football practice? Is it just you need a quiet porch by a field? Are Saturdays built around a long game, a long trail? Do you love to eat out on Friday night? Or is it something else entirely that you just really need to have part of your life?
Exactly. Therefore, based on all that we said, your answer really changes where you want it to be in the area in Greenville, North Carolina, because it tells you how you will actually use that address of yours and help you with a better lifestyle when you're moving to Greenville, North Carolina.
So maybe you are someone who is kayaking. I'm just using that as an example. Or you want to be kind of somewhere where you can get to kayaking a little quicker because that's your love on weekends. That tells us where we should be looking. And that kind of answer is going to get a very different answer from the square footage alone. And that really helps us narrow it down.
Exactly. Basically, once we know how you wanted to spend your week, the answers...
And of course, your house criteria, like
exactly.
bedrooms and price.
And that tends to a specific home criteria we would never had. Basically, you need to write it down. Know what exactly you wanted to have.
Now, if baseball practice is part of your life, it's really very specific points now of town where you actually have to live. But if you're like somewhere where you just need to eat out a lot and you're okay with driving, that is something else as well. If you're looking for the Greenway, you want to be somewhere where you can actually take a walk all the time and you want to hike. We need to now look at those places points, or at least a near point if you don't really like to drive any place. So there is a gap between your daily habits and, of course, your weekend errands, because we also have to talk about groceries.
Exactly. Therefore, we always ask how far is too far for something to become a habit instead of once in a while plan for you. Because the answer is different for every person that we worked with in the past that you are relocating in Greenville and Winterville, North Carolina.
Now, maybe you're like me and you got some Irish blood in you, and so when I go outside to the beach, I'm going to turn red like a lobster. I mean, that's just a normal thing for me. So I love beaches, but that's a once in a while activity, which is one of the things I love about Greenville. But if you are really into kayaking, you need to be football practice. You love biking all the time. These are things that actually have to matter when we're looking at homes as well. It's not just something to think about in passing. And none of that is going to show up in the listing description. What your life is like isn't going to describe the house. So that's why we're kind of walking a little backwards. Details matter. What your house looks like absolutely matters. But will this home fit the lifestyle that you actually want as well? That's another question that people, sometimes forget to ask when they're in a juggle for moving.
Exactly. Therefore, this is where the local knowledge changes which home or which area you need to pick. Is you're looking at, for example, Greenville Run in the Greenway Phase. Basically, the Greenway Phase 2 has already access point at the Evans Street or the Canterbury Road and the Blunt Recreation Sport Complex. So home near that area,
which is a walking trail,
which is for a walking trail, might be one thing that is your habit. You like to jog, you love to go walk every day for a mile or two. This is what you wanted to do.
Maybe Town Common is a place where you can the kayaking in the water. Port Terminal down the river, again, kayaking. We can measure homes in both areas, not just the one that's closer to your job, depending on what it is you really want to do. So if paddling is the goal, again, River Park North has 324 acres of it, so there's a lot of space around it. North Sports Complex has 8 multi-field uses. That is football, soccer, lake walk, everything else.
Exactly. And your sports there...
Youth sports.
Youth sports there run fall, winter, and spring, and reach Aden, Farmville, Grifton, and Grimes, and even Bethel, North Carolina.
Now, Winterville is an exception because it has its own parks and recreations department for the children with the sports. So none of that is on screen when you're looking at a home, but it really does change where you want to be as well. So you have to plan not just your driving time, but what you want your life to be when you're not at work. So that is really important. Are you looking at certain areas? Is it the fields? Is it the corridor? What is these are same towns, same budget, but this can make different homes on different short lists.
Exactly. And now we wanted to shift our gear and looking at where the works shift.
Because homes still matter.
Exactly. The homes still matter. And you're holding a Mayne Pharma offer letter. Now you wanted to know where you're living somewhere that is not Greenville, North Carolina yet, but you can not be in the 2 different places.
Now, basically, you're already searching online. We're not going to lie. We know you are. But starting that is just one process. Basically, understanding what will actually work once we've had that conversation really does help us with criteria, budget, what you're really looking for. And once it actually goes on those public sites, like those listings go on the public sites, maybe the house isn't even listed yet, and that house is perfect for you. And then we have to talk about that house that isn't even listed yet. Or we're going to talk to... Basically, this just hit the market. Let me run and get this one because this might be perfect for you. Of course, we do video tours if you're not here yet because you're not flying in until the week after.
Exactly. Therefore, at that point, we bring you a short list where every house, for a reason attached to it, because it depends on, as we said, is the activity that you want or the closeness to your work or whatever criteria is that we need to know, because that's going to help us to shortlist about those homes.
And there's between a house that fits your budget and a house that fits the life that you want is really kind of a massive one. And we really try to focus on making sure you get the second one, because there's really what we're talking about. Again, buying a home is one thing, paperwork is one thing. We're reading the paperwork, of course. I went to law school. I know how to read papers. I do read all the disclosure papers. Typically, they'll say no to everything. But we read line by line and we read what is actually on the records, and we really research that home as well. Because a mismatch on paper tells us what is going to be catched as well. And we want to make sure we're making an offer based on what we understand about this house already. Because maybe the HVAC is really bad and they're not putting in a listing description, but HVAC is kind of an important deal.
Exactly. And once we represent you, the seller side doesn't get to learn what you actually pay and how badly you need to close or how many other houses you are waiting for. And these are super important for the process.
Right, we're controlling the information. That way you're being able to be negotiating as well, especially if you're racing against a start date, which means you do have a schedule on time. But making sure we're not rushing and sending the wrong information is very important as well. So you want to make sure that you trust who you're working with, you're confident, we negotiate on your behalf, we really try to make sure that the repairs, the timeline, everything we know about the house is going to happen for you, and we understand we are boots on the ground doing a job that you can't do because you're wherever you are. You're in New York, you're in California, you're in Chicago, you're in Idaho. We don't know where you are, but basically understanding there is a difference and you have somebody here that you can trust.
Exactly. And we are exclusively working for you in that scenario. And
And it's us. No, we don't have assistants. We don't have like other agents that we're going to show up and say, oh, so-and-so is doing it for you. It's us.
Okay. Now
let's just talk about the last thing that's possible for you, because maybe you're not thinking about like buying a home right now because you're like, oh, I got this job, I'm making $75,000, $80,000, whatever it is the job. I'm just making up a number right now. But basically, you need to know that $75,000 in New York or in Chicago or in Miami might not be able to buy you the best house, or buy you a house at all. However, here it can buy you a house and a car probably. Now, with that, your salary is probably going to get the 6.5% of the current rates with the market right now. You're probably going to be getting that medium priced home. And that really does matter when we're talking about you do have options. We're not talking about you're going to buy some fixer-upper that you're going to spend all your waking hours fixing. Exactly.
And what exactly means for them?
So basically your payment is honestly going to be less than what you're paying in rent in many areas. But lenders, of course, tell you the real numbers, but a home is really possible here when it wasn't possible where you are.
Exactly. Therefore, basically, you don't need to spend your first weekend here starting from zero guessing what neighborhood, or I didn't look at this neighborhood, what kind of a school zone is important for me and my family if you have kids. Therefore, we basically walk you through, we give you a short list and making sure based on your needs, based on what you wanted to have in that house, what neighborhood is going to fit you, that either if you wanted to focus on the activity or the closeness of the jobs, then make sure we cover all of that.
Now, if you really do care about that commute to work, I have a website for Mayne Pharma to where you can look at all the homes in circles around it, 5 miles, 10 miles, 15 miles, just to see what home might work for you. So basically, all of our information is built on real information based on maps. So when you're spending your time coming here, we're really finding homes that will fit your lifestyle and your desires much more than just researching about it. And that's what we love to do. We love to help people who are relocating. We really do.
We are Alan Victoria Pinder, icon real estate agent with eXp Realty, and we are here for you if you are relocating to area as a buyer in Greenville and Winterville, North Carolina, to help you, to handhold you from start to finish. Make sure that you just focus on the jobs or the family that you're bringing, and we do a heavy lifting for you to make sure you have